call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Today we have a presentation of a proclamation, and it's for National Correctional Officers and Employees Week, May the 3rd through May the 9th. And we have two representatives here, Deb Krieger and Ronnie Navraki, and the warden, Warden Kovac. Debbie? Okay. You have the proclamations.
Both proclamations, or
You could just read one. Just read one. Just the
National Corrections Office.
national. Yeah, right.
Whereas in 1984, President Ronald Reagan signed Proclamation 5187 creating National Correctional Officers Week, which is recognized for the first full week in May to honor the work of correctional officers and correctional personnel nationwide. And whereas in 1996, Congress officially changed the name of the week to National Correctional Officers and Employees Week. And whereas National Correctional Officers and Employees Week is an ideal time to recognize and celebrate correctional professionals for their devotion, bravery, and ongoing commitment to being the change that they would like to see in the world. Now therefore, be it proclaimed on behalf of the citizens of Northumberland County, the Board of Commissioners is pleased to join with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in proclaiming the week of May 3rd to 9th, 2015 as National Correctional Officers and Employees Week.
I think they want a picture.
Yeah, if you want to. A dear friend of mine just recently retired from the Federal Correctional Institute, and he put out a Facebook post this morning that says that most correctional officers are outmanned 300 to 1, and they're unarmed, and that very few people have what it takes to be a correctional officer, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Too much. You screw that up. Thank you. One's over here. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Public safety people. So people here from public safety.
Steve,
Steve?
would you like to come up, please?
This is for May 17th to the 23rd as Emergency Medical Services Week.
Bernie and Jimmy too, Marion.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, proclamation May 17th through the 23rd, 2015 as Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas the emergency medical services team, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their lifestyle skills, and whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week. Now therefore, the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th to the 23rd as Emergency Medical Services Week with the theme programs, ceremonies, and activities.
Turn sideways. Come turn sideways.
Hold down that way, please. There you go.
I thought we just get you to sit in the chairs in front of us. Easier.
Waiting for the wife. Thank you.
Citizens input on agenda items only. Anybody?
Seeing none?
Item number 4, a motion is needed to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes of the Commissioners' public meeting held on April the 7th, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
A motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels payrolls as submitted by the Finance Office for payroll number 8 in the amount of $660,958.35 and payroll number 9 in the amount of $659,053.22.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
A motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels bills as submitted by the county controller in the amount of $5,237,935 from April the 4th to May the 1st, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second on the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
List of the following announcements. The county will be utilizing the services of Mailroom Services, Inc. for their postage discount and mail pre-sort program with a savings of 2 cents to 23 cents per piece of mail. The Courthouse Administration Center and related county facilities will be closed on May 25th in observance of Memorial Day. And the next public meeting of the Northumberland County Commissioners will be held on Tuesday, June the 2nd. The 21st annual event of the Mount Carmel Celebration of Special Athletes will be held on Saturday, June 6th at the Mount Carmel Area High School Stadium with opening ceremonies scheduled to begin at 9:30 a.m. Number 8, a motion is needed authorizing permission to advertise for the following. Public notice that Area Agency on Aging will be holding a public hearing on the 2015-2016 budget proposal on Thursday, May 28th, 2015 at 9 a.m. at Area Agency Aging Complex, 322 North 2nd Street, Sunbury. And B, a public hearing will be held for the proposed Human Services Plan for fiscal years 2015-2016 for the Department of Public Welfare on June 3rd, 2015 at 217 North Center Street, Sunbury, in conference room number 3 from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Number 9, a motion is needed authorizing the
Did you take the motion?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Number 9, a motion is needed authorizing the commitment of a local match up to 5% for the replacement of Bridge Number 50, jointly owned with Columbia County, at an estimated cost of $28,000 for Northumberland County's share, as requested by PennDOT and submitted by the county engineer, and this would be a ratification.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 10, a motion is needed authorizing the Department of Public Safety to purchase through the CoStars program a 2015 Ford Explorer from Sunbury Motors with Act 165 funds at a cost of $34,520.55 as submitted by Public Safety.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed authorizing the Northumberland County Prison to lease a CopyStar C8 350II copier, scanner, and fax machine from CSP Office Equipment and leased through Leaf Capital Funding LLC at a yearly cost of $1,241.88 from June 1st, 2015 through May 31st, 2020 to replace the copier that was destroyed in the prison fire, and this also is a ratification.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the chairman to sign a letter of intent summarizing the essential terms of a transaction between landlord MLC Properties 1, MLC Properties 2, and Penn Homes, Inc., and Northumberland County. This also is a ratification.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, properly moved in second. Any questions or discussions? Just to fill in the public on this, this was something that I brought up with meeting with the organization that owns the complex, and we're able to save almost $250,000 a year by virtually purchasing it and then paying the mortgage off to him as well as receiving some rental income. So it's really as a win-win for the county. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
Nay.
Motion carries.
Number 13, a motion is needed authorizing the commissioners to sign the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency Grant in Aid Subgrant 26046 for the Victims of Juvenile Offenders VOJO program in the amount of $38,218 for project period July 1st, 2015 to June 30th, 2016, as submitted by Juvenile Court Services.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 14, a motion is needed to authorize the chairman to sign the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency Grant in Aid for Subgrant 2014-2015 VPST 25831 in the amount of $25,000 for the Clancy Carpentry PACTT program for the period of January 1st, 2015 to September 30th, 2015, as submitted by Juvenile Court Services, and this is also a ratification.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 15, a motion is needed authorizing the chairman to sign the proposal with CGL Companies for assisting county in a needs assessment, space plan, and a preliminary construction project cost estimate for a new Northumberland County courthouse. This also is a ratification.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second. On the question,
Just one comment I'd like to make, and I'll vote for this. I think we've developed a good relationship with our consultant. However, I do think it's a more limited value if we don't include as well the assessment of the existing courthouse. And likewise, I take a similar position. There was a proposal to do an assessment of the potential retrofitting and uses for the existing prison as well. Those were removed from this. So I think that we're limiting ourselves in terms of, the usefulness of this, although I do think it would be useful to know, the cost and do the needs assessment in terms of space for a potential new courthouse, if that's a decision that this board wants to pursue or look into.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 16, a motion is needed authorizing the commissioners to sign the following reports. Monthly fiscal status reports for March 2015 as submitted by Weatherization, and it would be the LIHEAP Crisis Report and the LIHEAP Standard Report.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second. On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
A motion is needed acknowledging receipt of the following reports listed as items 17A through C on your public meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 18, a motion is needed to approve the list of individuals no longer employed and new hires for Northumberland County as submitted by the Human Resources Department.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 19, A motion is needed authorizing the chairman to sign the proposal from Core Power and Environment in the amount of $11,468 for battery replacement for the emergency power at the 911 center, as submitted by Public Safety, and this is also ratification.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the renewal quote from Cooper Notification, RSAN, for the period of August 31st, 2014 to August 31st, 2015, at a cost of $10,297, which will be refunded through a grant, and as submitted by the Department of Public Safety.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
21, a motion is needed to authorize the Director of Human Resources to enter into negotiations for the renewal of the current insurance policies the county has with Travelers Insurance.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second. On the question,
On the question, I would ask that the board consider revising, approving instead a revised motion that would authorize the Director of Human Resources to enter into negotiations for the renewal of those current insurance policies, but also to accept proposals and bids from other insurance agencies as well, so that we know that we're getting the best deal for the county.
so you want to make a subsidiary motion to that?
Yeah, I'd make a subsidiary motion that the motion read instead that a motion is needed to authorize the Director of Human Resources to enter into negotiations for the renewal of the current insurance policies the county has with Travelers Insurance, and is instructed to also accept and review bids or proposals from other third parties, other insurance carriers or brokers who wish to bid on the business.
Acceptable, Joe? So we're not naming anyone? No.
Well, we need a second to the motion.
Okay, I'll second the motion. On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay. I have no. I'm voting no.
One no. Motion carries.
Number 22, a motion is needed authorizing travel requests and attendance at the following workshops, seminars, as in accordance with the county's personal manual travel reimbursement policy, listed as items 22A through F on your public meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to adopt the following honorary letters and proclamations which were done at the beginning of the meeting, and wedding anniversaries. Mr. and Mrs. James Lesko Coltmont, 25th wedding anniversary. Mr. and Mrs. Martin Bloom Sunbury, 65th wedding anniversary. And Mr. and Mrs. A.J. Costello Sunbury, 75th wedding anniversary.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second. On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 22, a motion is needed authorizing the chairman to sign a proposal in the amount of $3,500 for the Phase 1 environmental site assessment with Apex Companies, LLC, for the former Rand Industry site located at 1400 Susquehanna Avenue, Sunbury, PA. This is a ratification.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, we did receive the Phase 1 study on the Moran site last evening. I read it over. It's quite lengthy, but they are requesting and proposing a second phase to the study. They did find certain elements that can be remediated, but they do need to dig a little deeper. So, and more frequently in different places. So we're doing everything we can to make sure that that property is safe. So, any other comments, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Number 25, a motion is needed to authorize the entering into an agreement with the performance of a title search for the Moran property site located in Sunbury, Pennsylvania.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second. On the question,
On the question, I think that this particular motion, as well as some other motions that are coming up later in the meeting with respect to that particular site and some of the other relationships, is premature at this time. You mentioned that there was a Phase 1 report. I just heard that for the first time this morning at a meeting with our consultants. I haven't had an opportunity to review that it's acknowledged as a phase 2 needed. I think that we need to get a little more information and also complete the feasibility study before we start committing ourselves to things that where, now we've committed resources and money. So on that basis, I'm not necessarily opposed to that site, but I think that there are some other things that logically need to happen first before we start committing ourselves this way.
Mr. Sharp, you know it's going to cost the taxpayer $2.5 million a year extra. We have to make a decision. You oppose, you're not opposed. Make a decision one way or the other, for God's sake.
I can't understand what you're saying, but go ahead.
I agree in moving the ball forward. I don't think that this is going to be something that we need to spend any money on until the Phase 2 project is done. However, I think we need to take time. It really isn't on our side in this. I have a report here that cost us $500,000 for the month of March to house our inmates out of county. That's 1 month. That's unacceptable. And for us to sit on our hands and do nothing is not doing what the taxpayers elected us to do. I look at it that I was elected for a 4-year term, and I'm going to be an administrator for 4 years. So if anyone wants to review this, I have it available to them. So I'll properly moved in second. Any additional questions or comments?
The question is this, Mr. Vice Chairman. We have a negotiation, and we put a lot of work in this project. The office of the commission, they put a lot of work day and night on this issue. We've been negotiating with the governor. We've been negotiating with the city of Sunbury to enter in partnership, and we could get $4 million from the governor. Because it was awarded to Sunbury, just a matter to release. So we could get the ground for free, and we playing a political game, and that's insane.
We are looking at an intergovernmental agreement between the city of Sunbury for that property. There were some preliminary plans drawn up that they're utilizing as the Phase 1 and Phase 2 studies. Nothing's been etched in stone at this point, but as Mr. Clausy mentioned, it is an opportunity for us to pick that ground up as a brownfield project, which everyone knows how successful they have been statewide, for virtually free, as opposed to our tax dollars. It will come, of course, from the state. But
and another thing I'm going to say, I've been at the governor's office 3 different times, and I mean, us to drop the ball right now when we can get $4 million free money, that's insane. That's insane, insane, insane. I pay the taxpayer.
okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
Nay.
1 nay. Motion carries.
Number 26, a motion is needed authorizing Concord Public Finance to explore the possibility and seek proposals for county borrowing via a bond issuance or other refundable loan obligations for the 2015 capital projects related to the county prison and/or courthouse projects as referenced in the next resolution, number 4115.
So moved.
Second?
On the question? Just on the question, just to give everyone a heads up, if we were to wait until our elected time had expired, we would lose a $10 million window when you're borrowing funds at a county level. It's called qualified. We can borrow up to $10 million per year qualified, which is a significantly reduced rate to an unqualified bond issuance. So that is why this is on there. For whether or not it's going to be spent this year is probably highly unlikely. However, it's done strategically for a reason.
Well, I think this motion is just having them explore the possibility and seek proposals, not actually authorizing a borrowing.
But that's why we're acting now, so that it does give us time before the end of the year to borrow the funds qualified. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Solicitor's report.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. Motion to adopt Resolution R41-15 is presented by the Solicitor. Resolution of the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners expressing the intention of the county to issue debt in accordance with the Local Government Unit Debt Act, identifying a certain capital project to be financed.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second on the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion
Nay.
carries. 1 nay.
Motion to adopt Resolution R42-15 as presented by the Solicitor. Agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners and JDM Acquisition LLC for the purchase of real estate situated in the city of Sunbury and partially in the township of Upper Augusta for the sum of $2 million.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second on the question. I would like to make a subsidiary motion that does allow, I know we do have the contingencies built into the contract that allows us to get out of that. However, because there's a Phase 2 required on that property and to protect the tax dollars, I think it's beneficial for us to enter into an addendum to that contract, Mr. Solicitor, that would allow us an additional 30 days window to complete and make sure that we can remediate any and all contaminants.
My understanding of the agreement as it stands right now is that there's a 60-day from the time of execution of the agreement to have all environmental reviews conducted and either accept or reject as a result of the environmental inspections. So you're asking for an addendum to ask for an additional 30 days on top of the 60 days?
Only if necessary. I don't know how long the Phase 2 study will take.
Which is kind of why we probably don't need to vote on it right now, because unless it's going to happen in the next 30 days, it can be addressed at the June meeting.
Well, the nice thing is by us entering into the contract, it does allow us that bargaining chip of purchasing that property as opposed to us not entering into it. The city of Sunbury or another entity can come by and purchase that property out from underneath us. So it is meant to protect a potential asset in the future that, of course, we're all hoping to see some money from the state on. So I understand what that is. But we could just keep that in mind, and I'm sure you're in talks with their attorney. So in the event we're approaching that 60-day window, Frank, just reach out to them and ask for an extension. If
I
not,
have a comment to make. Even if it's the second phase, it will fail. Say it will fail for a foot and a half. We can put 2 feet dirt in the top of that place for eliminated any contamination is there. And if we still do with the $4 million, we're supposed to get it for free, us in the city. Still, it's a win-win situation, even if we have to put 2 feet dirt in the top of the construction site to eliminate the pollution or whatever it is, it will not pass. So it would be no-brainer to not buy this property one way or the other because we're going to get it for free.
I agree, and for the most part, the cap, what they consider it, does remediate many contaminants in soil. However, there may be some other contaminants that are vaporized and all other kind of crazy terms they use out there, but that may need to be spot dug. So I think that by us doing everything in our power to make sure that the property is safe, clean, and ready to be built upon, will behoove everyone in the long run. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
I'm saying even if there's some contaminations in the property, because contamination could be lead, it could be anything, okay? The rule they tell me is, and on the DEP rule, you put 2 feet fresh soil on top, and you can build just on the construction site. You don't have to put that type of soil in the road or in parking lot, only in the building site.
yeah, I agree. That's common practice. So, all those in favor,
No, we
signify
need a
by saying
second, we need a
So-
second.
So wait, are we going with the original motion?
We'll go with the original motion, provided that, if we're approaching that date, if you can ask for an addendum to that contract to protect.
Well, I will ask for an extension at that time, or we will have to cancel the agreement if we get out to 60 days and we don't have a satisfactory environmental review conducted. So,
Well,
my question is, we either have to have this motion, or we have to have a motion that says something different.
Well, I think we can go along with this motion. However, we won't have an environmental review that says this is taken care of, this is clean. Not within 60 days or 90 days. That's going to be impossible. Now, what they will do is they'll say, all right, these are the contaminants that were found on the property. These are the ways to remediate those contaminants and to make it residential, if you will. So those are that's where I'm coming from, is that, within 60 days, we're never going to be able to clean up that property. But we will have a path as well as experts telling us how to remediate any
60 days is not to remediate, the 60 days is to conduct a review. Okay.
So all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
One no. Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R43-15 as presented by the Solicitor, Resolution of the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Tax Claims Bureau for the exoneration of taxes.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R44-14 as presented by the Solicitor, Professional Services Agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Tax Claims Bureau and Andrea L. Pencil and Ursula Q. Kessler for assistance with title searches for the upcoming judicial sale.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R45-15 as presented by the Solicitor, lease agreement between the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners and Gannon Associates for the leasing of office space at the Northumberland County Career and Arts Center, namely Room 202, for a period commencing June 1st, 2015 and ending May 31st, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R46-15 as presented by the Solicitor, agreement between the Northumberland County Board of Commissioners and Buckhart Incorporated Basco Associates for architectural services and overseeing the prison project.
So moved. Properly moved. Do I have a second? Mr. Clausen, can you hear me?
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Well, we could table this and then come back to it at the end of the meeting. That's fine with you, Frank?
That's fine, or we can just wait.
Or we can just wait, okay. So we do it in a second. That's what I told the press. I think we should proceed. I don't think they will. I tried to read it.
Try one more time on that phone.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated...
Okay. And, yeah, we'll have to table a motion for lack of a second.
I think it just fails for lack of a second, it's not tabled.
Well, and also just, although we don't get to the comment, one of the comments that I would have had, that why I wouldn't have wanted to approve that right now, is we have engaged a consultant, CGL, who, part of the services that we're paying for them is to review contracts like this to make sure that there's things in there that will protect the county, that we're going to get the services that we need and the different components and aspects of it. And I don't believe that you guys have reviewed a copy of that yet. So that's my only thing that I would want to have happen. Again, I think that that should be reviewed. I don't know if there's anything that Buchart would be looking to do within this next month on this project anyhow. I'm not necessarily opposed to your firm. I think and I understand you've developed a good relationship with our consultant, but we paid for that service. It's a protection that we paid for to look out for our best interests and those of our citizens. So I'd like them to have an opportunity to review that and give us their comments on that contract and any additions to it that they feel are appropriate before we sign it. So maybe that can happen between now and the next meeting. So.
Well, I know that you guys have been in working relationship with our feasibility study guys, so I appreciate it.
Next. Motion to adopt Resolution R47-15 as presented by the Solicitor Commissioners. Budget amendments as listed.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R48-15 as presented by the Solicitor. Agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports between the Northumberland County Commissioners on behalf of the Human, Senior, and Social Services and the following service providers as listed, numbers 1 through 9. The above agreements, amendments, revisions, grants, leases, and reports are not with county employees, nor does their organizational contract list county employees as principals in their corporation or on their board of directors.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Under old business, I do have one thing. I'd like to make a motion to accept Visicor's proposal for our IT security assessment with our on-site server room. Not hearing a second, it fails. And any new business? I have something new to share. However, it's nothing that needs to be voted on. We did receive from Standard & Poor's, our ratings direct. We were working diligently on this from the first day I was in office. After decades of credit downgrades and poor outlooks, we finally were upgraded. Our outlook was upgraded to positive, and I'll read a few excerpts of it. The spurs are the downfalls of our county. It says, very weak economic indicators, including high unemployment and below average incomes and wealth levels. Historically weak management conditions, despite a standard financial management assessment due in part to a checkered financial past. Goes on to mention about a very weak economy, also historically weak management conditions, and then it says strong budgetary performance. Following years of drawdowns during fiscal years 2007 through 2011, overall budgetary performance has improved. Within the past couple years, we believe primarily because of management reducing operating expenditures. For fiscal year 2013, we view budgetary performance as strong. The county ended fiscal 2013 by adding $2.8 million to the general fund balance due in part to a $2 million transfer of excess debt service. That was due to primarily for us paying off the bonds from the early payment of Mountain View Manor. To the general fund, as well as an operating surplus of over $800,000 due primarily to expenditure reductions in the past 2 fiscal years. Just read one other thing. The positive outlook reflects Standard & Poor's opinion of Northumberland County's improved general fund position following a $2.8 million surplus to the general fund in fiscal year 2013. We could raise the rating if the county demonstrates sustained maintenance of structurally balanced budgets as well as at least adequate general fund reserves. And I'm happy to announce at the end of 2014, the unaudited results, we extended that surplus from $800,000 to roughly $1.2 million. That's all I have. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Or is there
No.
public comment?
New business,
Actually,
nothing.
New business.
Executive session.
There is a need for an
Recess.
executive session.
Recess.
okay, well, we'll recess to an executive session. It's currently
Is Mr.
18:42.
Clancy going to be able to attend the executive session? Are we going to be able to get a hold of him for the executive session?
Try again on my phone. Well, as long as there's 2, maybe not gonna be a take a vote anyway.
Yeah.
What did they go back there?
Yeah, we'll be coming back out, but I don't anticipate we're voting on anything else when we come back.
Do you need him? Do you need him? John?
No, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you consistently see that your postmarks are coming all in May or first week of May. You could have, and especially in this year, you could have a escrow company drop you a check in the mail in California on April 30th. You might still not have it on your hands by then. I mean, you could have it with anything, but especially in discount and especially with escrow stuff. So, that could, you want to wait and make sure you've got everything in. I mean, if you have a report by the end of May that has all of your stuff for discount, they're not going to have a problem with that. You do, because you don't want to do a report now, get one or two in, and then you do it on report. Now it's going to 0.31.
Okay, it's currently 1:50. We'll call the meeting back to order. Reason for the executive session was litigation. Moving on, is there any public input? Please approach the podium and state your name.
Hi, my name's Kathy Finella. I'm president of Ask Me Local 2016. I'm here to present petitions on behalf of the taxpayers of Northumberland County regarding your decision to close the weatherization program and your recommendation to relocate the services to Union County. I cannot remember the last time two commissioners voted to take money out of the county. Isn't it your responsibility to bring jobs into the county? Didn't Commissioner Clausy claim 500 well-paying jobs would be coming? Where are they? The ripple effect of your decision to close the department will affect our economy countywide. There will be a definite lack of services until the funds are relocated to another recipient. Many elderly and low-income citizens that have been on a waiting list will have to continue to wait because of your decisions. Your joint decision will adversely affect many lives of the people you promised to represent. Commissioner Schuck, I'd like to thank you for standing up for the citizens of Northumberland County. And here, I don't know who wants these. Nobody? Anybody?
For the record, many of the same employees, should they want to be hired by CEDACOG, can apply and be hired by CEDACOG. I believe their starting wage is even slightly a little higher than a negotiated wage through the union program. Also, CEDACOG does currently have the PP&L weatherization arm of that in our county right now and has contracts with many contractors in our county right now. So it's not, the only thing that we're doing is the oversight of the program is going to move from the county to CEDACOG. It has nothing to do with the workers, employees, or the goods and services that will be provided in the county. But I'll note your comments. Any additional comments? Motion to adjourn?